guys, it's Dr. Chris back at Adventure Chiropractic with another Fitness Friday. Today we're talking about rounded shoulders. This is actually going to be a little bit of a callback to a previous video that we did about upper cross syndrome, or this forward head posture that a lot of people get, because sometimes these things come together, sometimes they don't, okay? But they do have some important crossover that we should at least address. Mainly, again, why are they important to us? Well, a lot of times they can cause this tight burning sensation along the back sides of our shoulders. If we're rolling our head forward or our shoulders forward, and then we poke on that muscle, we can feel we just put that on a stretch, so it's always going to be tight or feel tight because we're pulling it down and forward. So that muscle's job, so our head doesn't fall off our body or our shoulders don't fall forward off our body, is to tighten up. It's trying to stabilize us. So a lot of us, the reason why we can't figure out why we always have this tension here is because we're always making it tight. If you want to get rid of the tension, figure out what the heck is going on with that, let's look at a couple things that we can do to check our own posture. So if we look at our thumbs and where they hang when we close our eyes and relax our shoulders and breathe in and breathe out and see where our thumbs sit hanging by our body. When we look down, those thumbs should be pointed pretty straight forward, okay? If they're pointed toward one another, and this is what's comfortable, your shoulders are a little bit rounded forward, okay? If we got something else weird going on where they're pointed out, that's a whole nother video. We'll talk about that another time. But let's address this because it's pretty common. People will be rolled forward like this without even realizing it. So what we want to do is get our shoulders to actually sit further back in a comfortable position. But I hear people getting over-cued on this all the time in office. You know, we all have probably been told to pull our shoulders back at some point. But if we look at rounded shoulder posture and then go ahead and say, okay, pull my shoulders back. Nailed it, right? Totally fixed everything. This looks way better and feels awful. We didn't fix anything by doing that, okay? What we actually want to try to do, a better cue, is to think about this little sternal notch right here where your clavicles come together with your sternum bone, okay? This dimple, okay? What we're going to try to do is lift that up, okay? So if you watch me from the side here, instead of being slouched and rounded forward like this, what I'm going to try to do is lift that dimple up. And when you just think about lifting that dimple up using your spine, your shoulders drop back, right? So if I'm here and I push on that, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it's tight, feels tight, probably looks tight. And when I lift up my shoulder, it's nice and squishy now, okay? So it's relaxing because it's not having to do all the work now. My collarbones are actually holding my shoulders in place like they're supposed to help do, okay? So don't pull your shoulders back. Lift your sternum up and practice holding that for longer and longer periods. We can talk about exercises where we actually pull a resistance band down and back like we talked about in our upper cross video, or we could also just do external rotation with our shoulders. We can practice this W movement, maybe put our back up against a wall and actually see if we can hold those shoulders out and back while we go up. But what's that key? What's that first cue we're going to do? We're always going to lift the sternum first, get our back in a good position, externally rotate the shoulders, and make our W's that way. Once you actually start stretching this material open and actually strengthening the muscles on the low part of the shoulder here, you'll actually start holding that position longer and longer, better posture all day long. You'll feel better, you'll have less tension in front of your shoulders, and we'll get this all stretched and opened up too. If you guys have any other topics you want to see, make sure you comment below. Don't forget to hit the subscription button and hit the bell so you get upcoming future videos. The subscription button alone and the likes don't do what they used to on YouTube, so go ahead and give us that, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you get all our future videos. Remember, we're always here at Adventure Chiropractic to help you move better, feel better, be a better you.
Everybody's moving, everybody's moving, everybody's moving, 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 moving. Everybody's moving, everybody's moving, everybody's moving, 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 and stop.